Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Gemini. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Geminis, please. All right, your person is showing up as the world. All right, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. They're also showing up as the King of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. They're viewing you as the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be someone, Gemini, that you know from a place you go to repetitively. So that could be work, school, the gym. All right, and the relationship is a soulmate connection, the Two of Cups. One where you two really complement each other beautifully, but you feel like you're going to feel like this is divine intervention brings you two together. And we see the Seven of Wands. So Gemini, this is somebody here who's very ride or die. This is someone who you're going to know that just they have your back. This particular seven of Wands I love because it's like it's kind of a you and me against the world. Here we have the World card, so they could have that fixed energy in their chart. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. This is someone who's ready for something new. You know, I feel like they're ready for something new. They could come from a distance. They could be at a distance. They could also have a different background from you, Gemini. All right. So that could be a different race, religion, tradition. This person might have like very ethnic features for some of you, like striking features. They're showing up as the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. So somebody who's spiritual, somebody who's enlightened, somebody who holds back and they look at all the details. But I also feel like this is somebody who's been waiting for you, Gemini, or waiting for someone just like you. All right. And we see the Six of Swords in reverse. Now, this could indicate somebody who's returning to you in some capacity. Now, my singles new love readings are not meant to be about exes or past people or anything like that. But maybe this is someone that, you know, they're moving back to your neighborhood or your building, or they're moving back to your city or your state or your country. But it doesn't feel like it's an ex, right? And I feel like this person is going to be absolutely stuck on you, Gemini, from the minute they meet you. Now, how you're feeling, we see the Ace of Swords. So you're going to feel in alignment. You're going to feel like, yes, this is the start of something new. You're going to really trust this person, trust this connection, trust that you two were brought together for a reason. Okay, beautiful energy. All right, so we see karmic soulmate. So, you know, don't cringe when you see this. I know oftentimes we're like, oh no, this is going to be painful or it's not meant to be. That's not how I read this card. You're meant to learn lessons in this connection and help each other evolve. And that doesn't mean that it can't be a long-term connection or the person you end up marrying. I mean, these could be lessons like, you know, learning to trust again, or, you know, the right person. You know, you're never going to be wrong for the right person. You know, those types of lessons. Yeah, so we do get confirmation here, Gemini, that you're connecting with someone of another race, religion, or culture from your own. All right, now we see your ex. Okay, so for some of you, it could be somebody returning. But, you know, your ex could know this person. This person could have an ex who's around them. Maybe you know their ex. You know, this person might remind you of your ex, maybe have the same name as your ex. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that this is somebody that you've had a breakup with, okay? And we see short term. Your relationship with this person is not meant to last. They may enjoy being free. Your personal styles may not be complementary. Some of you have had a short-term connection with this person, and they're coming back around. Like I said, my intentions for these readings really are that it's not somebody coming back towards you, but that will certainly be the case for some of you. Now, for others of you, you might meet this person as they're ending a short-term situation with, you know, with a karmic soulmate here, okay? So the King of Swords here tells me they have air in their chart, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This is somebody who's honest, they're loyal. I think they're very well put together. You have a very strong intellectual connection, and I know my Geminis need that. You need somebody who's interesting, funny, inquisitive, adventurous. All right. Now this person could be a writer. Now that is the King of Swords. So maybe this person, is somebody who's a published author, or maybe they write for a living. All right. And we see they could have gray hair. Now remember, these are very specific messages that will not resonate with each and every one of you. And it doesn't mean it's not your reading, but it will be confirmation for some of you. Okay. So we see shorter than average. So this could be this person is on the shorter side, or maybe they're shorter than whom you normally date. All right. But again, confirmation messages for some of you, but they're not going to be for all of you. Okay. So let's see what else my Geminis need to know about this person. What else do my Geminis need to know? All right, so this person, I think this is going to be unexpected. I think it's going to be unexpectedly fun, exciting, abundant. I see you guys going out a lot, like partying together, having fun. And that doesn't necessarily mean like drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But I just feel like this person's really fun and vibrant to be around. And I do think it comes into your life unexpectedly. This may be somebody who struggled financially for a bit up until recently. We see message of concern. So I do think like this is somebody who is definitely going to be worried about your happiness, Gemini, your comfort. They're going to make sure that you're always happy and you're always comfortable. This is the type of person who's going to want that message, that you got home safely after a trip, or if you get home late or something like that, but not in in an overbearing way. All right, and we see concern. Okay, they might act unbothered sometimes, Gemini, but they're definitely not. And I think they're going to show you in little ways that they do care, that they are concerned. But again, I don't think that they're like the nervous type, okay? And I don't think it's something that's going to stress you out. Like, you have to, always be sharing your location with this person, or, I don't get that it's overbearing. All right, let's see what else we need to know about them. All right, they have a noticeable facial feature. Again, I do think they have like ethnic features or like some sort of striking features. A noticeable facial feature can also be like freckles or a mole. It could be a scar. It could be a really strong jawline, beautiful eyes, bushy eyebrows, nice lips. All right, we're seeing that this person grew up in a better than average household. They may dye their hair, so they might be covering up some grays there for some of you. Okay. And yeah, I was going to say that with that noticeable facial features, I definitely got there's something about this person's smile. So for me, that's confirmation that there's something about this person's smile that's going to really draw you in. Now, they could be a fire sun sign, all right, which would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This person sees you as somebody they can really enjoy life with. So we do see this being like a fun, kind of like going out a lot type relationship, taking you nice places or going places with you. But I'm also seeing here with the Eight of Pentacles, like this is two people who don't mind, spending a night in, making dinner for one another, being comfortable, just being on your own, whether it's Netflix and chill, or if it's, making dinner for one another, or if it's listening to music, lighting candles. There's a lot of care and comfort here, and that's what they see with you. They see building something real with you, Gemini. All right, we see the King of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. They might be a little bit worried, especially if they do have any sort of third party around them, or, they've just ended it with an ex, or maybe their ex or something like that. They might be a little bit worried that you're not looking for something, serious with them. They might be worried that it's just going to be something physical, because I do feel like this is somebody who's going to be very worried about losing you, okay? But it's not coming through in like jealousy or codependency, or like anxious attachment style. It's more so like they're just not sure you're going to feel the same way about them as they feel about you. And yeah, the King of Swords in reverse, yeah. It's interesting because I'm wondering if there's an ex here involved. I don't know if they know your ex, theirs. I mean, maybe they're an ex, but like I said, my intentions really are that this is someone completely brand new, but they might know that you have an abusive ex, or you have a jealous ex, or you have an ex that was disloyal, okay? it's interesting energy. Because I do think that this person trusts you with that Eight of Pentacles. They see that you're solid, stable, secure. You know, they see they want to build something here with you. But I also feel like, I don't know, I'm wondering if like they're worried about an ex here is kind of what I'm getting. All right, and you're feeling the Queen of Cups. So I think you're going to trust this. I think you're going to feel like this is something new, exciting. It's in alignment with you, but you may feel a little bit emotionally overwhelmed with the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, again, maybe because there are other people here involved, or like how you meet or when you meet. So you might be a little bit nervous about getting emotionally invested. All right, so just pay attention to that. But I do feel like this is a Two of Cups connection where you two really do complement each other beautifully. So I am getting like, you might feel a little bit unsure about emotionally investing, or maybe you feel a bit emotionally overwhelmed by this connection and or any exes that are involved. But Spirit saying this is a soulmate connection. You know, this is something real. Gemini, this person sees you as a healer, so having a passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and an ability to help transform pain into healing. All right, beautiful. So some of you might work in medicine, or you might work in the healing arts, or they just feel like being around you makes them feel safe, makes them feel calm. All right, and they also see you as the Samaritan archetype. So they see you as a really good person. All right. They see you as somebody who's loving, somebody who's giving. You know, you give without expecting anything in return. And the King of Swords and the King of Wands in reverse can certainly mean they're worried that you're not going to see them the way they see you. They're worried that maybe you're not looking for something serious, but they sure are hoping for that, right? All right, so with the Two of Cups here, this is a very strong soulmate connection. I think you two complement each other beautifully. Spirit saying that this is going to be a catalyst for growth. So this connection enters your life to move something forward. It creates change by highlighting what can no longer stay the same. All right. This connection reinforces your value through experience, not validation. Yeah, so this awakens your self-worth. But not necessarily because this person makes you feel worthy, but I also think because of the way you're seen and you're heard and you're met. All right, beautiful. And we see this connection encourages you to show up as you truly are. This is beautiful, embodying authenticity, because I feel like that's the lesson here that you learn, is that you show up as you truly are, and this person still loves and accepts you. I think that's the karmic lesson here that you're learning. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see if there's anything else we need to know about this connection. And like I said, maybe some of you did have a short-term connection with this person already. But we see, let go of the past. Clear your energy to allow more love into your life. Okay. Fearless love. Spirit saying a courageous leap into the unknown. Just go for it. Okay, and yes, this is your soulmate. You have found your romantic counterpart. So again, even if there are some fears that this isn't going to be long term, or there's exes in the mix or something like that, I'm getting that you're meant to let go of the past and go for it. All right, and give this person the benefit of the doubt, whoever they might be, Gemini. All right. And they just might be somebody who's different than your usual type and expectations. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. Any important dates or times? So we see March. They could be an Aries or a Pisces. We do see try again a little later. So some of you, there's a stop and a start within this connection. And then we see next week. So it could be as early as next week that they're coming into your life. They're coming back into your life. You meet this person. You hear from this person. You name it. All right, my lovely Geminis, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.